A lot of e-commerce platforms, they'll have built-in features for handling things that you need, but more often than not, in these scenarios, they either aren't sufficient, they aren't complex enough, or they just need to be supplemented a little bit, and that's where the integrations come in. And there's a lot of different types of integrations. Product data, you're just importing product data, getting it from your dealers. Inventory and pricing, which if you're integrating with dealer websites and dealer information, maybe that comes from your systems or from theirs. You have shipping and tax calculations and payment gateways. Once an order is submitted, where does that fulfillment process go to? Does it go into your ERP or some other system? You have order tracking after the customers can track the order once it's submitted. And there could be multiple systems involved in this, right? It can be product information could come from a PIM, and the order tracking and pricing can come from your ERP. Maybe you have sales leads going into your CRM. So it can be kind of a complicated ecosystem of systems that need to talk to each other. And it's important to understand it too that it can be a two-way integration. So this platform might need to reach out to an ERP or a PIM to get product data, but once that order is submitted and the ERP and the order goes through its fulfillment process, you have to talk back to that system, right, and give it tracking information, order status updates and email updates and all that. So a lot of times it's not just a one-way integration, it's a two-way integration between systems. And it's really important to plan all that out ahead of time to understand what you're dealing with, because it might require not only an e-commerce platform, but maybe changes to your internal workflow and processes and systems as well to help support that. So it's really important to plan that out in a detailed fashion ahead of time. Second, the preferred customer buying experience. So in a D2C scenario, customers, they're used to going online and shopping all the time, right? So they want the standard filtering and searching and detailed product images, comparisons. When they're shopping, they might not always know exactly what they're buying, right? You think you're buying a TV or a lawnmower. You might not know exactly which one you want. So you need really detailed information to help them make that choice. And they're also typically not buying in incredibly high volumes. Now, in a more B2B scenario, it's trending towards everyone wanting a B2C style experience, right? And they want that kind of standard filtering and searching and comparisons and all that. But that's not necessarily always the case. In a B2B scenario, they might be ordering similar products at regular intervals. So it might be important to allow them to have recurring orders or scheduling orders at different times. They're ordering in a lot higher volumes, right? They could be ordering hundreds of products at a time. And so they might want the ability to just upload a spreadsheet or the ability to add products in bulk where, going to click on add to cart in a bunch of places can be friction for them, right? So it's important to develop those personas, understand what they need, and reduce that friction. There's a lot of studies that, a second or two of delay, and they're going to try to go somewhere else to find their product, right? So you want to reduce those friction points as much as possible. That's where competitive analysis is really helpful to know what they might be used to when they're, already buying in that space. In addition to the purchasing experience, it's important to understand what are their customer support needs post-purchase, right? Canceling orders, is there an RMA process that they need? Again, you go back to order tracking. Is there, a chat bot or something that they can interact with to answer questions? So knowing what they need to do on your platform is incredibly important. And then those two things kind of coalesce together into choosing the right e-commerce platform. There's a lot of them out there. They all have strengths and weaknesses. So you need to consider what out-of-the-box integrations do they have, right? Maybe they already have an integration with a payment gateway that you use, and it makes it very easy. What kind of built-in features do they have for analytics to track your purchases and track user behavior versus having to integrate with some other third-party platform? In most cases, they're not going to do everything you need exactly how you need it. So how easy is it to customize the platform and kind of break out of that box that they build you into with their out-of-the-box features? What are availability of agency partners to help you with that customization and maybe get into some development to help integrate with your systems. Is it a cloud hosted or on premise? Sometimes when you're integrating with systems, it might be important that everything is hosted within your network on premise to make sure that they can talk to each other versus the scalability of a cloud system. And lastly, pricing models are very important, right? You'll go onto any e-commerce platform and they'll advertise a price, but typically that's a base price, and they'll charge you extra for an SSL certificate, or if you have a multi-storefront, if you need multiple different domains, well, they're going to charge you extra for that, and maybe you only get a certain number of orders per month with that base charge, and if you go over that or go over a certain revenue, they'll start charging you for that. To use their payment gateways, they'll charge a little extra for that. So knowing all of those hidden costs is really important to understand the full financial investment that you need to make when you're choosing your e-commerce platform. So it's a lot of things to consider, and it's important to give yourself time to plan for that.